Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Aaron2420, bringing you guys another OU Wi-Fi battle versus AshLeeTheCat, aka the GOAT, aka my boy Ash. So this battle actually happened, I think, almost 2 months ago. If I'm being completely honest, I have been awful at recording games. I've done about like 10 games that I actually want to record. So now that I'm finally remotivated to upload Wi-Fi, that I'm not uploading a fuck ton of leagues anymore for Pokemon, I'm going to be doing some more Wi-Fi battles. So this first one's up against Ash. Ash also, again, really cool battler, really cool guy. You know, he may or may not be running a league that may or may not have its Discord link in the description, that may or may not be starting up in June, but until then may or may not hold some occasional speed tours. And he may or may not also be doing a co-op that may or may not start up next Monday, or this coming Monday, I should say. So you may or may not want to actually look at the description for that Discord link, and also you may or may not want to subscribe so you don't miss the co-op with us. So without further ado, let's get right into my team. This team was actually a team I got from Harris. I got this team from Harris like back in late December, early January. It consists of Landorus-T, Toxapex, Mega Sharpedo, Ferrothorn, Kartana, and Tapu Lele. I believe it's Z Tapu Lele is the Z-Mon on this team, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, it was just the Mega Sharpedo team. I figured it was really cool. I haven't used Mega Sharpedo a lot. I'm not the best Mega Sharpedo user by a long shot, but I wanted to try it. Ash is actually using a team, I believe it's an ABR, Hoopa, and Bound team, if I'm not mistaken. I got this team like a month after Ash already kicked my ass with it. But, yeah, so I decided, though, against this team, I was definitely going to lead off with my Landorus-T, as he ends up actually leading off with, of course, his Landorus-T. Because who doesn't lead off with Landorus-T in OU? It's OU for a reason, because this is the OU standard. So, of course, you know, we got to lead off with Landorus-T and get our Intimidate off. We are an HP Ice Stealth Rock set, if I'm not mistaken. He actually goes for an HP Ice of his own as well, and his Landorus-T was actually max speed. Very, very smart of ABR, of course, when he built this team. You know, mad respect to him. It was a very fast Landorus-T to outspeed other Landorus-T at the time that were running defensive natures and all that, and had very little speed. So the HP Ice would counter any defensive Landorus-T. So very, very smart. Of course, we end up barely being able to live 2. He actually does withdraw his Landorus-T, however, and he goes into Hana Kartana. And I'm guessing it was going to be Hana Kartana, of course, since, you know, it rhymes, but he tried. Ash tried. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 for that name. 6 out of 10 for how it worked, 8 out of 10 for the name itself. But he goes into that, of course. HPS, I think, would have still 2-hit KO'd, to be honest. But I get up my rocks regardless, so it doesn't matter too much. Rocks do pressure Ash's team a lot. And I go into Barbie. I figured that he's definitely not going to click Sacred Sword here. If he clicks Sacred Sword, Ash might actually just be the GOAT. Luckily, he does go for Defog, however. But I figured that there's no way he clicked any sort of Sacred Sword, so Ferrothorn was a good switch in. Even if he did, he's still taking some Iron Barbs damage. But he actually decides to switch out here and to swish his Hoopa Unbound. And for the second Ash brought in Hoopa Unbound, I just realized how I don't have a single swish into this mon on my team. I mean, what team does, to be fair? But this team especially has like no Hoopa Unbound answers. So I just realized how fucked I was, especially because it's Z-Hoopa. And Z-Hoopa is a very, very scary mon. So of course he goes for the Black Hole Eclipse. This thing literally would have nuked any Mono Switch, and even Mega Sharpedo would have taken a ton because it's not Mega yet, and Mega Sharpedo is like no bulk whatsoever. So literally nothing on my team would have wanted to switch on this. This was my best option, was literally to stay and hope he wasn't Titanium, which thankfully he wasn't, and luckily I was able to get up my spikes, which helped pressure the Katana a little bit better, as long as Hoopa, if it does have to come in later on in the game. So of course, you know, our spikes are very, very nice, and he does kill us off here by hitting his Focus Blast. I mean, it still is definitely a slightly over 2/3 odds, so it was exactly like it's luck to hit a Focus Blast. But if you're me, those odds go down to sheer cold level odds. So a little mad about that, but not that bad. So I sent in Sharpedo file. I'm glad I remembered that. I thought I was gonna forget it in the live in the post com that was why I named it that. So yeah, I sent in Sharpedo file. Of course, Sharpedo file would not have fit, nor would there been a lot in line. So I just named it file. And I was hoping that Ash would get the reference. If he didn't, you get it now, Ash. You're welcome. So I do send in Sharpedo file here, though. He does send in his Landorus-T. Of course, I do speed him now. However, I don't have Ice Fang on my set, I believe, which means that also I will not be able to beat the Landorus-T 1v1. I also decide I'm just going to protect here, maybe get off a speed boost, and hope that he switches out, trying to maybe try and preserve his Landorus-T. And he actually goes into Magirni here, and I know that I cannot beat the Magirni 1v1, so I actually switch right into Got Spikes, our Toxapex. I figured that since he is definitely not Electrium Z Magearna, that he has really nothing that could break it, but instead he actually predicts my switch to Pex, so I was very impressed by that, and he gets a Volt Switch off on his own, so he carries out the momentum, and of course, goes into Hoop Unbound, Breaker of Worlds, and this thing is literally just going to, again, eat my team's ass as it does best, because it is a Hoopa Unbound, and it just clicks Psychic here. In hindsight, I could have always tried to predict and maybe go into Sharpedophile, since he is not Scarf, I would have forced him out there. I was not willing to make that prediction because had I lost Sharpedo, then that would have definitely been very tragic. And also because had he went for Hyperspace Fury, or whatever his Dark type move was, actually no, it was probably Dark Pulse to be honest. Point is though, had he went for that, that would have still done a ton to Lele, and I wasn't exactly going to try and just get a ton of chip taken on my Lele. So he does bring in his Magearna here, aka Easter Pink, taking more Spikes damage of course, and I'm going to get off a Psychic, and get some decent damage off because of our Psychic Terrain. However, it is still not that much because that is of course an AV Magearna, as what the only Magearna set was at the time in the meta. So, of course, I gotta bring in OU Standard here, and just try and hope that he does not predict an Ice Beam. Of course, though, he does go for the Volt Switch, trying to probably predict the Pex switch in, as I brought in Pex last time. So very smart play on my opponent, I just tried to play around it a little bit. So, luckily though, we do end up getting that prediction right, because had we lost Lando here, that would have been very devastating. So he does bring in his Lando, however, here. And, of course, he is immune to Spikes, so that's perfectly fine. I decided I'm just going to get out my Stealth Rock here, as it's, again, more pressure for Kartana when it comes into Defog later on. Also, Hoopa Unbound takes more damage along with Magearna. Lando can finally get harmed for coming in, instead of just getting nothing in terms of hazard damage. So, we're in a little bit of a downhill position, but we're trying to climb our way out of this ditch. And, of course, he gets up his rocks here. Very, very devastating for us because I don't have any way to hazard remove on this team, if I'm not mistaken. Even then, it just puts more pressure on a team in general. Of course, when I U-turn, it doesn't do that much, but it's more so just to try and gain initiative versus Ash. And I go back into Sharpedophile. I figured that Magearna is going to be weakened enough between the Stealth Rocks and the hazards. Maybe if I can catch it on a switch, I can end up just killing it off. And then we can be on our merry way. So, of course, he just clicks Earthquake here. I predict he was going to switch into Magearna, actually, and I clicked Waterfall. So, that really sucks. We lost our Sharpedo here. And essentially, at this point, we lost the game. Had I gotten that right, we could have maybe even actually swept at that point with Mega Sharpedo, which would have been very awesome, actually. Because, you know, it just feels so satisfying when you sweep the Mega, or even a Mon in general that doesn't belong in the tier, and you just clean house with it. So, that would have been very satisfying, not going to lie. But, I mean, it happens. It's OU, and you're playing up against a Landorus-T and a player with fairly decent skill known as Ash. So, you know, that kind of thing happens. Here, of course, I go for my Moonblast on my Tapu Lele, however, as I did not want the Hoop Unbound to just switch in for free against me. I do kill the Landorus. I don't think the crit mattered. In hindsight, it might have, but I don't think it did. He does, however, just bring in his Magearna here, and he is taking some Spikes and Stealth Rock damage, and I figured that I definitely do not kill with the Psychic. So, at the same time, though, I was actually Choice Lele. I wasn't Z Lele. My bad. But I do decide I'm just going to click Moonblast here and get some chip. I realistically don't have any real way to beat this Magearna at this point, as all I have left now is a Toxapex and a Ferrothorn. And neither of those Mons exactly... Well, I don't have Ferrothorn left. I sacked Ferrothorn. I have Kartana left. But I definitely could not switch in Kartana. I could have, in hindsight, switched in on that Iron Head, but had he been Flash Cannon, that would have done fairly decent damage to me, to be honest. And he could have switched in something like Lando, or no, not Lando, since he did lose that, but he could switch in Pex, like he actually does here. And realistically, was I Z Kartana? I could have sworn I was Scarf Kartana on this team. Because I'm fairly certain I need to switch out a Pex here, if I'm not mistaken. Point is, though, as I said, I did this battle like a month ago, so I'm vaguely remembering the details. Yeah, it was Choice. I was sick. So if I was Z, I would have definitely just clicked Grassium Z there or something. But I do switch in our Lando here, however, on the Pex. There really wasn't any other options I had left at this point, because it's literally just Lando and Kartana against the world, and I still have a small chance at winning this game with Kartana. However, it really comes down to the Lando not having gotten burned. The burn sealed the game. Not gonna lie, it was still a very uphill battle to have potentially won, and it was very, very unlikely, as Pex could have always tried to pivot around me and then just skull burn me when it got regen health. So it was going to be a very hard game to win, but there was still a small chance had I not been burned, because as you can see here, I get off an Earthquake, it doesn't do much damage, and he just goes for a Scald and kills off my Lando, and the Pex is not in range at this point to die from a Scarf Leaf Blade, if I'm not mistaken, and even then, I know he has options in the back to switch in on a Leaf Blade. And I really just need the Pex gone. If Pex had actually died, then I could have potentially won with Kartana. Or even if I got it low enough to the point where it's in Smart Strike range, that could have been nice, because then I could have Smart Striked and I would not have to worry about Magearna just coming in. However, we do Leaf Blade here. It doesn't even kill. As I said, that burn ended up killing our chances at winning this. And even then, he burns our Kartana anyway. To this point, the game's just sealed. I don't even blame hacks, to be honest. I think I played really poorly. Ash made some fucking phenomenal reads. Shout out to Ash, though. Again, very amazing player. At this point, though, I knew I lost the game. Of course, the burns definitely did seal the game, don't get me wrong. But even then, it was still a very uphill battle to have had any chance at winning. It's just that, as I said, you know, burns definitely sealed my fate. But definitely not mad. Oh, I completely forgot the Kartana was still alive, not gonna lie. So that's another mon. Yeah, my Scarf Kartana definitely couldn't have beaten it at this point. It just wouldn't have had the moveset. So, it sucks. He was able to Sacred Sword me here and actually win the game. So, very good game to Ash, as I said. You guys should all subscribe to Ash. Phenomenal friend of mine. I consider him definitely one of my better friends in the community. He makes very, very hysterical content of all kinds, whether it's just random games, Pokemon, League content, etc. As I said, I got a co-op coming with Ash that's going to start maybe on next Monday. If you maybe subscribe to Ash and I, you will maybe see that in your sub boxes if YouTube actually works. Now, with that being said, though, it has been your boy Aaron. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try and get up another Wi-Fi battle every day this week, to be honest, except for the days that I have other content, which I guess is really just IBA because I'm not uploading P4G besides my game versus Nick. As of right now, I just don't feel like it. I don't care if they kick me. I'm still doing my game versus Nick, and I'm still uploading it as a P4G game because realistically they're not going to replace me, and even if they did, I really don't give two shits. So yeah, I'm just playing out my season though. So I'm gonna try and upload battles every day this week actually in terms of Wi-Fi. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, I will see you guys next time though in tomorrow's Wi-Fi battle. Peace out.